Hey guys, it's Amber. So today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me using the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. And I'm excited. I haven't done any looks with this yet, which seems weird since I've had it for so long. And I'm actually going to dive into the eyes first. I really liked doing that just because there's glitters and things. And then we'll touch up with some foundation and stuff afterwards. So I've been playing around with some primers lately. I've gone back to using concealer on my eyelids. This is the e.l.f. Maximum Coverage Concealer. I've just liked the blanking out that it gives me. And it seems to make everything stay put really nicely, so. Alright, so this is what the palette looks like. And she has divided it up into 4 different types. So you have matte, sequin, metallic, and glitter. And then you have memory, ritual, story, soothe, aura, and poet are the names. So I'm going to be going into the matte shade of Aura. This is a really pigmented shade. It does have a little bit of kickback, but I do find it's great for setting your primer or concealer. And I do find that I've actually used it enough that I'm getting a dip in it already because I've just been reaching for the shade for every look that I've done, just because it's such a perfect shade for getting everything started. I feel like I've dabbled a lot into like the pink shades, and although I love the pink shades in this palette, I think I'm going to go for more of the orange and brown just to switch things up a little bit. So I'm going to start off by going into the color Soothe and then go into the color Story and just build those up into my crease. Yeah, I feel like I have so much to talk to you guys about because so much has happened since I've had like a chit chat type video. So I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I was going to be going home over Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was yesterday and here I am. So much has transpired. I was getting everything ready to go home and trying to figure out how I'd get all my stuff home and all that jazz. And then, I don't know, it just like, I mean, I'm a religious person, and so I may have different feelings about this than other people. Call it your intuition, call it the Holy Spirit, call it the Holy Ghost, call it your womanly knowledge of life experience, I don't know, Mother Nature. But I just had that feeling. There were some things that came up, and after talking about it with my husband, I just thought, you know what? I think we should start making progress towards moving back to Utah. I thought that we'd go back to Houston. I was planning on going back to Houston, but just from things that had transpired, I was like, maybe this is going to be the best choice for us. And I had this like feeling like, you know what, Amber, you probably should just get a job and just put down some roots, get started, because, my husband doesn't have a job here yet and someone needs to be working. And I was totally shocked by that because, here I am thinking I'm going to be going home, and all of a sudden I get this feeling like not only should I not go home, but I should get a job, which was not something I've intended, because the only thing I've done for work outside of the home was my coaching for fitness, and then, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So this was like not on my radar. Now I'm going into story. I left all my clients when I moved to Houston. I had some friends that I did their hair there, but I didn't have like a huge clientele there or anything. And so I just did enough to, with my friends and family to, keep my hands in it. But, it just wasn't something that I intended to happen. Sometimes life just throws you in a different direction than what you're expecting, and you just have to be ready for it. And so I'm the kind of person that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all in. Like, I'm not going to just be like, oh, I don't want to do this and blah, blah. Like, I'm like, okay, this is what I feel like I'm going to do, then I am doing it. Like, I am a very determined person. When I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go back to work. And I was sitting here at my house with my friends, and we were just chatting about, I think I might need to get a job, and we're thinking about moving back, and one of us needs to be working, and so, we can start paying for our life. And I had this feeling like I should message this lady who manages this more high-end salon. It's not really close to where I live, but it's close enough that like I could work there and everything. And I was like, okay, she had reached out to me a few years ago when I had my studio and said, hey, we'd love to have you come interview here because, you know, I've seen your work or whatever. So I just like was sitting there and I was like, okay, this lady messaged me randomly 2 years ago. Who knows if she's even going to be interested in hiring me? I haven't been working for 18 months. Like, this is all sort of crazy, but I just felt like I should do it. So I did it. She responded back in like 15 minutes. The next day I had an interview. A week later, I ended up doing a technical interview where I, you know, came and brought a model and like did all this stuff and had like, you know, questions asked and stuff. And, you know, obviously making sure that I can do hair, which, you know, is important. So I'm going to blank out my lid a little bit and do like a cut crease just a little bit here. I was nervous about it, but not really, because I was like, I know what I'm doing. You know, I might not have been working in a salon full time, but it's like, it's one of those things like riding a bike. Like if you're good at what you do, you can get right back to it, you know. And I've always been really confident and competent when it comes to coloring, and so doing a color, you know, that wasn't going to be an issue. So, you know, the next day they called, you know, they offered me a position, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I have been diving into continuing my education. There are a lot of really high-end, you know, like LA type stylists that do a lot of online education. There's so much resources out there, even free resources and courses you can take. And so I have just basically dove headfirst into it. And when you're already familiar with a lot of techniques, you can just learn like little tweaks that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of that before. That's an awesome idea. I'm going to try that. And so I'm really excited. And I feel like this is going to be like a good opportunity for me. It is a little intimidating for me because, you know, the environment's going to be completely different. You know, it's a salon where I'm going to have to wear all black and it's just more high end and it's a lot more expensive than what I used to charge. But you know what? I feel like I'm ready for that. I feel like near the end, I was kind of selling myself short. I didn't raise my prices enough. I just kind of downplayed it like, oh, it's fine. I only did a little bit more, you know, and I knew the other stylists were charging more than me, and I just needed to value my worth more. And I always get scared of like offending people. And I understand as you grow, you know, you're going to outgrow some clients, and that's okay. You know, that's understandable. But I shouldn't limit myself because I'm scared of outgrowing some people. So I'm really excited for this new direction that I'm going in. Although it is a little scary, I think it's going to be a good choice for me and for my family. And I'm not going to be working full time. They're kind of like, are you sure you don't work full time? Which I just took as a compliment. But I'm like, no, I think right now with my kids and my family, I think it would be better just to stick with part-time at first. So I'm going to go into the shade Aura and the sequin version that has a little sparkle on it, and I'm going to go right over that concealer. This has like a really pretty pink shimmer to it. And just set this. So that's like a huge life change. I mean, this is a huge thing that's going on, and I'm just going head first in, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to go back to work, I am going to be the best stylist that I can possibly be. Like, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to build my clientele. I am going to, you know, throw it down. And it's just, for me, in part of the way, I feel like I'm not going to be limited by trying to be mom and a stylist. Like, it's just going to be me. It's just going to be doing hair. I just focus on my client. And I honestly think that working from my own little studio in my home was absolutely the best decision while my kids were young. But, you know, little Miss is still young. But she's here with my mom. She's with my sister. She's with my best friends. You know, people that are going to be helping me. I feel like it's going to be a really great situation to be in. And I'll still get time to express myself. And I don't know if some of you guys know, when I moved to Houston, like, it was hard for me. Like, I felt like I had, like, lost somewhat of my identity because I had done hair for so long. Like, I was like, who am I? I'm not Amber the stylist. I'm just Amber the mom, which is a great person to be, but just an adjustment for me. And so I'm excited about doing this. And I feel like with my clients, I would never have taken the jump because I was so worried about like offending people or, you know, charging more and worrying that I would like lose my clientele. And so I just never did, you know, and now I'm like, it's the perfect time because I don't have any clients anyway. I mean, like I can reach out to people and I'm sure there's a couple people that will want to come to me, but I'm not the kind of person that wants to like take someone away from their stylist. Like I wouldn't be happy if I was doing someone's hair and then like their old stylist moved back and they're like, all right, well they moved back, peace out. Like I don't want to be that person to somebody else. So if I know somebody is like happy where they're at, then I think they should be able to stay without feeling like guilty or whatever. And I like posted on Facebook, so like people know, and if they want to come and find me, they can. Doing the gold glitter. Go back into that glitter with a little setting spray on my kind of concealer brush and intensify that just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go into the metallic shade of Aura. Put that in the inner corner here. So I've obviously had a lot of feelings about this. Whenever you're like having a total life change, which this is a huge life change for me. You know, there's days where I was like really sad and just feeling like, oh my gosh, like, you know, mourning the loss of the freedom I enjoy now. But then there's other days where I'm like super excited and, you know, I'm just getting so pumped up and going through trainings and like really excited about it. Cover FX Blurring Primer. And that's where I basically landed now, is I'm just excited. I have been shopping like crazy. I have like a whole new black wardrobe, all these cute things that I can wear. Like, and I'm not just going to wear like black button-ups and black t-shirts. Like I have like cute lacy tops and ones that just like little paper bag pants and just things that are fashionable that I like. And so I'm excited to get ready for work because like, you know, you gotta kind of like dress the part. Like if someone's gonna come and pay top dollar, like they deserve to have a stylist who's like looking top dollar, giving you 100%, bringing it with their skills. Like, you know what I mean? You know, you don't want to show up in like your PJs and like a half pony from yesterday's workout and be like, okay, so you want some highlights? Like, you know, you gotta show up. So I don't currently have a glitter glue here because I thought that I wasn't gonna be here forever. And so I think if I would have had a glitter glue, I wouldn't be having as much like kind of fallout traveling around. But honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much. When you have glitter, it's kind of how it is. So I'm mixing my foundations. I've been using the Milani Conceal and Perfect 00 Natural and 845 in the CoverGirl Outlast. Mixing these two together are like the perfect combination. They last really a long time and the color match is perfect for me. So I'm like, well, if it's not broke, why fix it? This ended up being my winter color and my summer color, kind of in between. Although it is so crazy winter here. Oh my gosh, it is so snowy right now. It's like a foot of snow. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's a snowplow going by. Thank goodness. Thank you to all the snowplows out there, seriously. So my husband is obviously very supportive of me doing this. He can see how with moving financially, it's a better decision because, I mean, moving is expensive and Christmas is coming. Like, there's obviously many reasons for me to go back to work. And as you know, my husband has a, you know, post-concussion syndrome. So anyway, there's a lot of factors that go into this. It helps take some stress off him. I'm perfectly able to work. You know, you got to do what you got to do. And when it comes down to it, as moms, like, you got to do what you got to do to take care of family. And there's just nothing I'm not willing to do, really, to, you know, help provide for my family. So, my husband was pretty bummed when we didn't come home. So he is coming out to visit us a couple of times. He'll be here during Christmas time. And it's just nice to have him be able to come and visit. I feel like another reason why we're trying to move back and stay here is that I feel like my husband's kind of gotten at a standstill with his treatments, and they were having him do some things that, you know, I think they thought would help more than they did. And he has other doctors that he had here that he had good results, and I kind of wonder if like he's sensitive to the pressure there. Like it's the storms are always going up and down and the pressure being closer to sea level. And he spent most of his life at high altitude. So I almost wonder if it's almost like a little bit of reverse altitude sickness where he's so used to being at high altitude, like his body, because of his concussion, can't adjust to the lower altitude. So like every time the pressure goes up and down, it just makes him feel worse. So that's another reason. So it'll be nice to see if when he's here for a little bit longer time, if that helps. So just trying to do all the things, you know, when you're dealing with chronic illnesses and illnesses like this that aren't very well researched, or when it's the brain and there's so many things that can go wrong, it's just trial and error. You just got to keep trying, and it's expensive and it's long and it's not a quick fix, and you just, you know, long suffering, I tell you. But I actually like the thought of getting a job and going forward and trying to get him some help and doctors here, or maybe he could just work part-time so he could do more treatments. Like I'm feeling really hopeful about that. Like this will be a good choice. Obviously my mom's fine with us staying here. I know not everybody is fortunate enough to have family that they can live with, and we are very lucky to be in this situation. And so yeah, so I feel like even though this is all crazy, it's like I feel like it's gonna work out. I feel like it's gonna work out. All right, so this Sculpt and Glow is still one of my favorite things. So I'm going to go through and do a little contouring with this. Nothing crazy. Don't let me forget eyebrows. The day I went to take my practical examination, or like audition, or whatever you call it, I forgot to do my eyebrows. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like talking to my sister. I'm like, I don't think they wouldn't hire me because of my eyebrows, right? Yeah, so obviously the eyebrows didn't end up being an issue, even though I was a little concerned about that. All right, for blush, I'm going to go into the Real Her palette. I'm going to go into this shade called Limitless. These blushes are really subtle, but they do come off really nicely and natural on the face. I am definitely getting some glitter. It is what it is. I don't know. I think a glitter primer would definitely be in order for this to stay put. Then I'm going to use the highlight in here because I just love this highlight. It's so creamy. Like, you know, some highlights get dry and get like that baked, like, cakiness on top. This one has stayed so creamy, and like, just watch. It just, like, I feel like no one even talks about Folklore Beauty. Like, I didn't even hear of them before they reached out. And so, you know, I want to pass along a good word when there's like a nice little brand that is kind of undiscovered. And no, they do not pay me to say that. That's just my honest opinion. Okay. I think I need to touch up my highlight area a little more in the inner corner. And let's do some eyeliner. So I got a little sample of the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I was going to use this when I did my Shane Dawson look, but I was like, it just seems wrong to use Jeffree Star and Kat Von D in the same makeup look. I digress. So, don't really support her brand. There's a lot of drama there, but I got it for free. I like the liner. I'm going to use it because I got it for free. So, we'll just leave it at that. I got to scooch my mirror way up here because I need to see what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can see. You know, it's as good as it's gonna get because I have hooded eyes and uneven eyelids, so I just have to kind of just get to a point where I'm like, yeah, that's good. No one's gonna really notice. Before I put on my mascara, I'm gonna set my face. This is the CoverGirl Outlast Active Setting Spray. I've really been liking it. See that highlight? So beautiful. I wear this literally every day. All right, I got mascara on, and I have some magnetic lashes. These are from Ardell, and they came with this really cool little applicator. I bought some off of Wish that I tried before, and I was like, eh. These ones are cool because I wish that they had just magnetics along the whole thing instead of having like the little individual magnets, because I feel like that makes it a little bulky. But you just snap them on like that, and then you snap on the top one. I think I'm gonna have to trim these a little actually, but I don't think I'm gonna do that right now because they are a little big for my eyes. So just try to get them lined up, and then just kind of try to position them. I had a hard time getting my lashes on before with the magnets because I couldn't like hold them open and like get them in the right spot. So let's see, kind of get it right here on the top, get it far back, and then snap it together. Yeah, I definitely think they need to be trimmed, but they'll give you the look. I like using these for tutorials, especially when I don't have anywhere to go, so I'm like, I don't need to wear lashes all day. I'm going to try to wear lashes more to work because I just think when you're working in that kind of fancy salon, it just looks really nice and polished, and they do makeup there and, you know, all the things. So I just want to bring my A game. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim the inner corners because I just feel like they're really a little harsh. I haven't tried those ones that have like magnetic liner. I think those would be kind of cool. So I don't like putting my hair back when I do my makeup, is it ends up creasing it. And lip color is going to be from Shop Miss A. This is the Wonder Matte in Blessed. I did make an order because they had 25% off everything. So these were 75 cents on the website. And like, so I bought some more colors. Of course, I have so much makeup at home too that I haven't used. So I just got some different colors to kind of spice things up. Let me know, do you guys have the Tati Beauty Palette? Are you planning on getting it when it restocks? What are your favorite colors in the palette? Do you have any dupes you feel like are very similar to this palette and I could share some dupes for you guys? Let me know. The one right off the top of my head that I would say is the Pure Soiree Diaries I got in a BoxyCharm a few years ago. I don't have that one here to compare, but I feel like that's like a similar vibe, but it's a much smaller palette. So if you don't have the Tati Beauty palette, I would try doing this look with that palette instead if you've got it. I know quite a few of you have BoxyCharm, so maybe you have that one already. If not, just a nice warm neutral palette with some glitter would definitely do the trick. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!